Yes, yes, welcome, guys. Listen, I had to kind of call on the Arsenal fans. I have to kind of bring us all in because I wanted to speak about this, but I never get to because, I have Man United fans on my case, Chelsea fans on my case. So I
Mhm.
feel like we can actually have conversations. First of all, listen, I just want everyone to just say hello and also say, give me a moment that made you support Arsenal. I'm curious now. Like, what was the moment, if you can remember? Because or what was the reason? Why did you support Arsenal? Nur, do you want to start?
Yeah, man. Of course, out here, Arsenal supporter. To be honest, it's hard to remember pinpoint the exact moment because my whole family is are Arsenal supporter. So I guess I grew up in that environment. My dad being an Arsenal supporter, my brother being an Arsenal supporter. I remember early days of Thierry Henry, the O2 shirt, the Highbury. I think that's like my earliest memories is like Highbury days when there's like Perez, Bergkamp, Reyes. Like those were like my proper first memories of us. I think when we just did the Invincibles, I think that was like first early memories. So, but then after that, just the way we played, the culture, I think also being born in London as well, lived in North London when I was like born with my family. I think just having that around just made me fall in love with the club, man. And
I hear
who knows? We also play the best football, you know what I mean? So
that.
that's what made me that's what
I
made me
hear
fall
that.
in love with the team, man.
I
And
hear
Thierry Henry, of course. You gotta have a
that.
player.
Joseph, go on, tell us. Tell us.
Yeah, so it was right after Leicester won the league is when I really started to get into the sport as like a whole. And my brother
2014,
and I were
20.
like, we need to pick a team
Yeah.
to support. And we went through the table, we're like, Chelsea, no, we hate them. Manchester City or United, no, we hate them. Definitely not Spurs. And we just were like, what about Arsenal? And then so we just started kind of casually watching the games. And then Giroud scored uh that scorpion kick against
Yeah,
Palace.
at home, yeah.
And that was it for me. Because we were like kind of getting that we were like reading up on like the history of the club and we were
Mm,
watching old games and stuff, and so
that.
we were kind of getting there. And then we were sitting in church one morning and he's like, look what Giroud just did, and shows me the clip, and I'm like, that's it, sold.
Nah,
The
that's
revelation.
revelation.
Ah,
I'm like, God.
fair enough. I can't remember like what it is that made me start supporting Arsenal. I just like for as long as I've been watching football, it's just always been Arsenal. My dad's an Arsenal fan as well, so I have a feeling that's where it comes
Yeah.
from. But it's just always been like it's never been anything different. It's just always been
Yeah.
Arsenal for as long as I can remember. Like there's not even a story to tell. It's just
For
it's
me,
the
bro, that's
DNA.
mad. I have a crazy story. Like, I don't
Like,
even unveiling it. Trust me. When after I finish, you would be like, wow. But yeah,
mm.
God. But now for me,
But yeah,
listen.
for me that's it. There's not even a story.
How is it? Ah, damn. Nah, to be fair, it's
Yeah,
kind of because of your dad. Yeah, there is. It's your dad. He's passing
yeah.
it down. I read that. I read that.
That's pretty much
Uh,
it. To be fair, that's pretty much it. But it's like everyone. The funny thing is, yeah, everyone else in my family is United fans. It's just me and my dad. So my older brother and my younger brother are both United fans.
oh,
Most of my
listen.
cousins are United fans. So literally, that's it. Like it's just me and my dad.
Well, listen. For me, I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Two older brothers, one Spurs fan, one Man United fan. Mum,
Damn.
Arsenal fan.
Mad.
Yeah. So I had basically those three teams to pick. Long story short, older brother takes me to the Emirates Stadium, and that's it. I never looked back since. As soon as I first touched the Emirates,
Fair
I
enough.
looked us. I said, "Yeah, this is home." I said,
This
"Yeah,
is home.
this is home." I was like, "This,
Mm.
this is where I need to be." Yeah. So yeah, I know it's mad. So crazy the dynamics, especially with my older brothers. But so I Now I want to ask everyone one quick question. Yeah, that is, where is it again? Who has been your favorite player in the Emirates era? Quickly, just give me 1, 2 players if you can think quickly off the dome. I have 2 only. That's why I'm asking. And mine is Alexis Sanchez. No, 3. I can't lie. Damn. Alexis Sanchez, Aaron Ramsdale, Aaron Ramsey, and Santi Cazorla. That's it for me.
Good choices. I think when it comes to me, Emirates era, it has to be obviously because my favorite player is Fabregas, and he did start in the Emirates era. It has to be Cesc Fabregas. He's number one, my favorite player. And also when it comes to it, is Mesut Ozil. Like I love Mesut Ozil, man, and I love that position as well as playing as a number 10 as well. And yeah, those are the 2 at the top of my head that I can say like fixed.
Yeah. What about you, Joseph?
I've got 3. I love the very first footballer I fell in love with was Olivier Giroud. You know,
I heard that.
even when he wasn't starting, he'd come on, he'd score the clutch goal. And it was just like, you know, he made you believe, even when we weren't doing too well. It was like he comes on the pitch and he does something, and it was awesome. Because I started becoming an Arsenal fan like our last Champions League season. Like that was the first season
Alexis
I started
Sanchez.
watching.
Yeah, that's Alexis.
Yeah.
That was Alexis.
I think the very first game I watched was the game. I think we lost to PSG in the group stage.
Yeah.
And that was the very first Arsenal
PSG
game I
weren't even
watched.
good at that point.
Yeah, they just Cavani scored a goal and he did some weird celebration.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love Aaron Ramsey as well. Great player. And then Mohamed El Neni is another really good one.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Not for the playing side necessarily, but like when he comes on and he scored like 3 bangers.
Every time
he's just such a great dude. You look at him, he's always smiling.
You know.
So
yeah, but
yeah.
I read that.
I was gonna say anytime someone says El Neni, I just think of Man United away. Like that game just this guy plays for
Ramadan El Neni, different class.
He plays for the
Ramadan El Neni, different levels, bro.
Wait, how did you not feel about the year extension quickly? Was you okay with it? Like I kind of thought we were gonna let him go, but I was shocked. I'll say that. I was shocked that they did give him.
I was quite surprised, but like Arsenal haven't been good at letting go of players. Like even this season, I thought there'd be like a huge number of players we've let go of, but like no one's left yet. Like, so I'm like the season's almost started and like no one's left the club yet. What's going on?
Nah, go on.
I think it's Arteta recognizes like, you know, we just let Xhaka leave. And he's a huge character in the dressing room. And so I think letting El Neni leave as well, that like El Neni's probably not going to play a full 90 minutes this season. And he's probably he may his appearances this season will be less than 5, I'm sure. But I'm sure Arteta recognizes his leadership and his presence in the dressing room, and so I'm sure that's why we're keeping him.
I think so too.
I hear that. So.
Yeah. You know. Speaking of that, I want to ask everyone. You lot can just chime in. Who, obviously, I think maybe like 1 or 2 players might be coming in, hopefully. But who, in your opinion, is Arteta's men? Like, as in, who do you see in that room? In that, just like you said about Brandon Xhaka leaving, he's a very big character, and that is very true. Like that was the one thing I remember, and I always said, watching the Amazon doc made me realize, okay, this guy actually, he does talk. You get me? Like he does. Like he says certain things. I'm like, you know what? Respect. Maybe footballing wise, we don't get along, but he actually wants to do something. Do you get me? So I was like, cool, fair enough. But like, who do you think is like Arteta's men in that dressing room now? Are we saying Rice too early? No.
Rice
Right.
will get there.
I think
but
Rice
not right now.
Rice will be part of the group at some point, but yeah, not right now. I think you have to be looking at Odegaard, Zinchenko,
Yeah,
them man,
yeah.
Ben White, those
You,
type of
Ben
man.
White.
yeah, but you bought Timber
Mm.
though. That's what I'm saying. You can't like Arteta's men have
Nah,
I
their
think
but
starting
Timber's going to be
positions.
playing on the left quite a bit this season.
Who?
I think Timber's going to be playing on the
go
left
on, go
quite
on.
a bit this season.
Hmm,
That back
interesting.
four that we started against Barcelona with Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and White, I think we're going to see that a lot.
Interesting. That's
Not
not,
every game, I don't think, but I
yeah.
think we could see that a lot.
But then
I
Kivi,
think this season we're gonna have crazy rotation. I think it's gonna be
Which is
crazy.
good.
I think Timber is gonna play probably all positions in the back. I think as well, Zinchenko is gonna be rotated a lot, but I think Zinchenko is still a very important part of the team. Like that left back position is his, and even Kieran Tierney, man. I think Kieran Tierney is gonna. This is his season, man. I think this is the season he's really gonna prove. Like, look, like I'm here to stay and I'm here to prove that I am one of the best players. Like you and you need me. Yeah. And it's gonna be very interesting to see this season. Like there's so much rotation. You can't really even pinpoint who's gonna play, who's gonna start. You can just tell Arteta is just one of those guys who's just like, you know what, I'm gonna experiment and I'm building a team where I'm gonna have super versatility, where tactically teams will not even be able to defend against us, you know what I mean? Or prepare.
yeah.
So it's gonna be
It's
really
weird.
interesting.
I was wondering the other night, I was like, if it were a competitive game, the curiosity probably would have been more. So it was a
Yeah.
friendly, and I was like, oh, he's starting Trossard instead of Martinelli. That's fine. But if it were a competitive game, I'd have been like, Martinelli's doing good, but then Trossard
Yeah,
scores 2
100%.
goals, So,
Yeah.
and the fact that you have the option to go into each game and with just that luxury of being able to like hand pick exactly how you want to approach it, knowing your
Yeah.
players are going to do exactly what you want them to do.
So like,
Yeah.
I want to kind of double back on Timber because I don't know, this is kind of me and I like to say certain things and understand how. So like, I put in my notes, I put Timber, he's coming to start, and I'm saying from what obviously like you're saying preseason, it's not the league, whatever. But how you feel about that? Because I personally, I want him to start, and it's something as small as he overlaps, and that's one of the qualms that I have with Ben White in terms of in certain moments he doesn't overlap, and he's not got that explosive, like not explosive pace, but just that little extra step that I've literally seen Timber do with Saka, which personally, if we're being honest, I think Saka has looked great this season, and I've seen him with Timber. So far, it's only preseason, but I've just seen Saka play way better. And maybe I might be wrong. How you feel about that situation, in that right back situation? Like, do you think he will come and take it, or is it secured for Ben? Do you think it's secured?
So my thought is, I think Ben White has some of the best anticipation of any defender in the league.
100%.
That's my opinion. And I also think that Timber is like starting 11 quality. And so I think it goes to show that Arteta wants to sign players who are going to compete for starting positions. And he wants to have the problem of, I have 2 exceptional players in the same position. Which one do I start? That's a good problem to have. So I think some games we'll see Ben White on the right and Timber on the left. I think other games we'll see Timber on the right and Zinchenko on the left. So it just depends. I don't think you can nail it down as to who's going to be the first choice this early, especially when we're predicting this much rotation.
The reason why I say
I
that,
don't think anyone's got that position nailed down.
Nah, come on, listen. I don't know about you lot. Mikel don't rotate to me, bro. Like he don't rotate. I don't.
No, he doesn't. But now he has the luxury to.
He's never had the
Like
opportunity.
for
the longest we've had one team.
Like you were saying earlier,
it wasn't until Trossard came in that I was like, okay, we have another attacking option. Because when we start with like Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, who have we got to bring on? Like Eddie, that's it.
Yeah.
Reese when he's
I'm
fit.
expecting.
But it was
I'm
only when
expecting good
Trossard
things
came
from
in that we were
Reece.
like, okay, now he's got that. Now he's got the ability to choose, pick and choose who can start. But before that, like I could wake up. You could wake me up 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'll tell you I'll start in 11. Like, it doesn't matter who we're playing. I could tell you this is exactly who's going to play.
So
we didn't have the options.
How many changes in the starting 11? Like, obviously, we know one in Granit Xhaka, but do you think like maybe the left back might change? The goalkeeper might change. You see, like if we're talking about competition, and I kind of brought this up with the boys yesterday, that like I just said to him more like if you look at certain teams like Man United, they really have strength and depth up top. They have a lot of wingers, and then they're trying to get another striker, and they got strikers to come back, and certain strikers might be coming back. We don't know. I was like, if you look at Chelsea, they're very stacked. Chelsea are very stacked in the back line. They have a lot of centre halves, fullbacks. They got 2 fullbacks in each position. If you look at us now, it's like we are not stacked in an area, and if we feel like the goalkeeper
I think our defense is stacked. I think we
Mhm.
have an absolutely stacked defense.
But
Yeah,
do
I
you
think
know
we've got
why? It's
backups
because
everywhere.
everyone could play everywhere.
That's what I was
Everyone
gonna
can play
say.
everywhere.
I think our depth is not in the number of players that we have, but I think it's the players that we have that can play multiple positions.
No,
I
think
think
about
that's
the
where our
players we
depth comes
have.
in.
Think about the players we have, though. We have Zinchenko, we have Tierney, we have Gabriel, Kivior, we have Saliba, we have Ben White, we have Timber, and Tomiyasu. All right, and that's not including Holding. All right.
No, we're not including Holding.
I forgot about Cedric too, right?
We're not including them, man.
You can't forget about Cedric. You can't forget.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, these players are still at the club. Like, why are these players still at the club?
Yeah. Not including Holding and Cedric. We're
I'm Trusty.
You
forgot Trusty as well.
And Trusty.
Yeah, I know.
But Trusty,
but you know what
going, he's gone, isn't it?
He's going to. But you know what I think? I think this season Arteta is taking that philosophy that the reason Man City won the league last season is because they had depth, and don't forget the competition in terms of we're gonna have FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. Bro, we have to factor in. We have to factor in our injuries. We have to factor all those different things. So he's preparing himself for whenever any of these go down. I will have the players, no matter what, have backup. And let's say Partey is injured, Rice is injured. You have someone like Timber who can play as a CDM. You know what I mean?
And you have Jorginho, who, let's not forget, is still a very good midfielder. Very good.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't think we're going to see another season where we're having Saka play 30-something games in a row, where we have Gabriel play however many games. I feel like in previous seasons, the only reason players weren't playing was because they were injured. Now you have the ability to pick players just based on form rather than based on who's available.
Yeah.
Before, like you said, Arteta wouldn't rotate. Like, the only time we'd see a change to a starting 11 is if there was injuries, because we had no other choice. Or cup games, but that's because we had no other choice. But now I see us having the ability to rest players or pick a player that's like better equipped to face this team. Like, we're looking at, okay, we're gonna play a team that has their defenders are gonna lie deep. They're gonna play a low block. Which player is able to play better against a low block rather than playing against a counter-attacking team? I think we're gonna see a lot of that.
100%.
So we kind of spoke about the team, and I want to talk about another quickly, but he's a controversial signing, Havertz. I said
King Kai. I'm excited.
I said
King Kai.
So I said I'm hoping he can score more goals than Granit Xhaka did. That's where I'm just trying to fill that slot. He did score a lot of goals for Xhaka last season. Surprisingly, I can't lie.
He had 7 in the league, I think.
Yeah. And for his position, that's a lot. So I'm just more like, can we replace that and also still keep the technical ability? How you lot feel about he has to prove me wrong in it. I liked him when he was at Leverkusen, but from what I saw at Chelsea, I can't stick up for him. But I'll wait and see. I'll wait to make judgment. But how do you lot feel about it?
It's a sticky one still, with Kai Havertz. It's it's one of those ones. Okay, for what I believe right now, yeah, is that definitely Arteta sees something in him, and he feels like with the system that we play in, he can definitely improve us, and he can definitely be improved with the players around him as well, and the system that we play, right? But at the same time, I think with Granit Xhaka, Granit Xhaka brought something, like he just brought like fire. He had this like desire and heart. You know what I mean? It was a different kind of ability that he brought. He didn't just like, okay, he scored a lot of goals, but then he had this like leadership on the pitch where he would take control. You know what I mean? And that's what you want in your players. And I think right now, how we're seeing Kai Havertz, he seems a little bit shy, coming into the team. But I think with some time, he could be one of those clutch players, man. That could be, you know what I mean? Like he's played in heavy competitions. He's gonna have amazing players besides him. I think the only thing I'm worried about is his defensive ability, because that's what Granit Xhaka also gave us. And the tracking back, that is literally my only problem.
I know.
So I got some thought.
Oh, go on now, go on.
No, you
Yeah. No, honestly, my opinion is very almost exactly the same as Nurut. I'm worried about that defensive ability and just the physicality of playing in that role. Like Granit Xhaka did not fuck about in that role. There's that. But for me, the thing with players that because one of his biggest critiques is that he misses big chances, right? And when he was at Chelsea, he was always missing big chances. But my thing with players that miss big chances is you're getting in the right position to get those chances, right? So that's a positive. It just needs a little tweak, maybe some finishing training, or maybe just a change of scenery to get that last bit where you're finishing those chances instead of missing those chances. I look at it with Giroud when he was at Arsenal, all he did was miss big chances. He cost us a good 12 to 15 goals per season. But he goes to Chelsea, he goes to AC Milan, and he's banging for France. He bangs because you're getting in those good positions. So it just takes a little something to tweak that to where you're finishing the chances and you're improving as a player. So that's what I'm hoping for him. I'm hoping the change of scenery, him coming to Arsenal, different players around him, it can tweak that to where he's finishing the big chances. But at the same time, Xhaka did score a lot of goals for us, but again, the goals were quite shared out throughout the team. So I don't think one player missing out is that big a miss. If it's similar to last season where everyone's banging in goals, everyone is banging in goals, then we're gonna be good.
But you know
the fact that we have the option to replace him, we could play Rice there instead if he doesn't bang. We can play Jorginho can come in. We have those options. Smith Rowe can come in. To me, honestly, I want Smith Rowe for that position. I would like Kai Havertz to play a little bit higher. I want Smith Rowe for that left centre mid position. If that's why it has to be, then it has to be.
The reason why I said that is because I only say that because when you notice your rival strengthening in attacking areas, you have to then kind of adjust your goals, because when you have, like you're talking about, I think, don't be surprised, Man City have something up their sleeve in it. I don't know who, but they got something cooking. They have to. But then if you look at Man United getting, like I said, another striker, Chelsea, the attacking signings they've brought in, and Kunku and all of that, and everyone coming in. So it's when the goals matter at the end of the season. So that's why we need someone in midfield. Martin Odegaard can score, but we need I believe you should always have two midfielders that can chip in goals. If you want to,
that's why I want Smith Rowe for that position. Because remember, not last season, but 2 seasons ago, he was our top goal scorer, even though he was playing off the wing.
Yeah, he was.
But I think he's got the profile to play in that left centre mid role. He's got the pace, he's got the finishing. Maybe his defensive work slacks a little bit. It won't be as good as Xhaka's.
You know what it is?
I don't think a Rice or something. But
and we're sorry, I want to ask Joseph what he thinks of Havertz quickly, but I want to say I think Emil's engine is what's letting him down in that position right now. I think now his engine is what's letting him down. Xhaka had an engine for as much as I could say. That guy kept his he had Demi. He could move about. He wasn't the quickest,
You could.
but he kept consistently. He was moving, so I'll give him
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'll give him that. But like Joseph, how you feel about Havertz?
All right. So I am actually a Leverkusen fan. Like I watched Kai Havertz like his whole time at Leverkusen. So I watched this kid like come up. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? He is, you know exactly what Mikel is going to do with him, which is use him whenever Jesus is not like getting in the box. You see Havertz will make that run pass into the box, and you see him get into he'll float into these areas, much like Xhaka did last year. But he'll float into these areas, and like I was saying, it's like, you know, he knows how to get in the areas. It's the finishing that you could work on, if anything. It's much easier to help someone train on their finishing than it is to train their brain to tell them when to get into certain positions.
Yeah, the
And so I'm
positioning
sure
is a
that's
lot
what
more
Arteta's
important.
seeing. He's like I can train him on finishing, like no problem, and like I can train his defensive abilities and his like, because we saw versus United, you know, he wasn't that great defending. He didn't track back as much as he should have. He looked unsure in certain areas, but I'm sure within the first few months of the season, that's going to be ironed out to at least a satisfactory level. And then by the end of his first season, it'll be like he's got it. So I think personally, I do think the price tag is a little bit much, but I am very excited to see him in the squad, and I'm very excited to see what he does this season. I don't think he'll score that much more than Xhaka, just because I don't think he'll be playing the same amount as Xhaka did. If that makes sense.
No.
I think there'll be games where we'll play Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. I think their games will play with those three. And I think there'll be a couple games Smith Rowe will start. I think there'll be games Jorginho will fill in that position. So I think Havertz is going to give a similar goal output while not playing as much.
I think there'll be games where he plays up top as well. I could see that.
Oh yeah,
really?
I could see that. I could see games where he'll play further up.
I'm thinking more if it's last resort, it's Trossard I'm putting up top rather than anyone else. I think.
Well, I think if you play Havertz up top, you have to play Trossard on the wing, because I love when Trossard and Jesus play, because if Jesus does this, Trossard does this, and it's
they're moving
Do
crazy.
you know what? Because I think it was even last season when Jesus was out and it was Trossard and Martinelli. They were working together, because that's what I'm saying. Like if I want anyone to play up top from what I've seen how we play, I would put, if it's last resort and Eddie's injured or is ill or whatever, I'll put Trossard first. I don't know.
That's another thing we have to talk about is, how do y'all feel about Balogun?
That's the thing, because you're talking about scoring goals. I was going to talk about our front three, or just our like the players that we have there, and like Joseph said, how you feel. I think he's leaving. I'm going to say that. I'll let you lot.
I think he's going to leave. I'm disappointed in him, but I think he's going to leave.
I don't want him to go, man.
I don't want him to go too.
I don't want him to go, but I think he's going to leave. That's why I'm saying I'm disappointed in him, because like.
Why though?
I think we need to loan out Eddie and give Balogun a chance.
No.
Eddie's way too. I think if we loan out Eddie, we lose him next season. Eddie's way too old to be going on loans at this point in his career.
Well, then tell him. Like, at this point, he's not going to be our first choice striker. He's.
But
like
the thing is, I'm not. I get it, but I'm not throwing Balogun in there over Eddie just based on the experience. Like Balogun, he's had one good season in Ligue 1 where Lacazette topped the goal scorers list. Like, I'm not being tricked.
But he does need a chance.
I'm not being tricked by Ligue 1. He does need I think he does deserve a chance. That's why I'm disappointed. I would have thought maybe he'd go out on loan one more season, or maybe half a season, sit on the bench for the other half, something like that. But I don't, like, because he wants to push, like, to be playing at this point, like, because I don't think he starts over Jesus. I don't think he starts over Trossard. It's 50-50, him and Eddie. So for him to be pushing to start or to be playing or get game time at this point in his career,
I think
it's a
Eddie's
bit
kind
much.
of more leaning. I think Eddie's winning that towards more maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Just based on the experience.
It may be
because
close,
if
but
Mikel looks at his bench and it's Eddie and Balogun there, Mikel's gonna think, look, Eddie's been doing it for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chuck him in there before I chuck Balogun in. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows the system.
That's why I said I'm disappointed. I do think he'll go because there will be interest from other clubs. So I do think he'll go if he wants playing time.
I will say this:
100%.
Holland or whatever his name is from Atalanta signing for Man United for like $90 million, like 70 million pounds. About, I think Balogun's a better striker than Holland. So like,
how much are you trying?
Holland scored 9 goals in Serie A last season.
So wait, how much are you trying to put? What's the price tag on Balogun?
Not Holland.
No, I know Hoyland. Yeah, Rasmus Hoyland.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
he only scored 9 goals last season. So I think. Okay, first of all, it's ridiculous we're letting Trusty go for $5 million. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We don't know.
It's a $3 million profit because they're waiting for a mill.
Arsenal are never good.
We don't know how to like negotiate better.
Arsenal, that's what I'm saying. Arsenal are never good at selling their players. I can't remember the last player that we sold for over like 30-40 million.
Guys, can I be honest?
Iwobi was the last one that even came close.
Maybe, listen, I'm going to throw a theory quickly. Hopefully this is Edu learning how to negotiate. So listen, let's be real. Some of these players will move on eventually. It's football. We understand. Maybe he's practicing, so for when that comes, he knows how to demand a big fee. I'm hoping, because $3 million profit is not that much profit if you think about it.
Nah, honestly, in this day and age of football, it's nothing.
Yeah, so we'll see it, but yeah, I think.
That's what annoys me about our outgoings as well, because there's so many players that we have to let go of or like sell on, move on. But I'm not seeing us getting big money for them, like Cedric, Rob Holding. These men are going for basic.
I just want them off the wage bill. Like I'd let them go for free. I want them off the wage bill.
So like I was gonna give, because I tongue twisted. I remember Mikel was talking about his outgoing and ingoing. Then I don't know, how do you lot feel about who's gonna leave and give me the players? Like, remember, there's a lot of players that we have to trim. Certain players who maybe we don't want to go have to go. So I'm gonna give you one right away. So I've been thinking about this since May, since Burnley got promoted, right? But I've been thinking about this. Who manages Burnley? Company.
I
see where he's coming.
He used to manage where?
In the Belgium.
Anderlecht.
Yeah.
Anderlecht.
Yeah.
Who did we sign from Anderlecht?
Sambi
Lokonga. And I saw the other day that Burnley are potentially looking to sign him on loan. I think that would be an excellent loan out for him.
Yeah.
Nah, I think we need to.
If one move happens this window, I think that's what
bro. I think. Listen,
I'll for me, bro.
I'll rather.
Who's gonna buy him this window? He goes on Burnley alone. He has a great season. You sell him for 30 million next season.
Oh.
Okay. Option to buy. Okay.
I see where you're going with this, then.
Because he's not gonna get anywhere near our starting 11.
Yeah, that's an impossible. So like,
at this point,
I have to throw a name out there quickly, and it could be early, it could be late, and we did mention him, Emil.
No.
Listen. Let me land. Listen.
Go on. Land.
Is he, and this is a question, it's not to do with what we just spoke about, it's a question. Is he getting left behind?
A little bit, but only because of his injury. Only
I think this is the season.
Not the season that just finished, but the season before, right? He was our top goal scorer.
But that's
He
But
bagged more than
that's
Saka.
2 years ago, bro. It's 2
That's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying.
I
It's
think
only because we
Aubameyang
had
and
an
Lacazette were
amazing
still here
season
2
last
years ago.
season. Like
The Chuckle Brothers.
it's only because we had an amazing season last season that it looks like he's losing out. But he had
yeah,
did you watch him the under 21s? He had a
yeah,
A
fantastic like
little bit,
tournament.
not a lot.
He
he
had a
was amazing.
fantastic tournament. Yeah. He had a fantastic tournament under 21s. I think he's coming back. I see it.
The reason,
I see him coming back.
the reason why I'm saying that is because there's also rumors of us being linked to Kudus. Maybe if that's true or not, I don't know.
I've seen
But
that as well.
but
I
seeing
don't
links
think we
like,
need him. I think he's surplus to the requirements right now.
but you see what I'm saying? If you're saying we
But
don't
to be
need him,
fair, at this point, I'll take surplus to the requirements. We're about to play Champions League football again.
But we need
Yeah,
if
man.
we're gonna go after any outfield player, we need to go for a right winger.
Yeah, which is
I see
Kudus.
that.
Reece Nelson. You see what I'm saying?
No,
Oh my God.
You see,
I like Reece. I like Reece, but think
you
about
forgot
this.
about him.
No, I like Reece, but think about this.
Mm.
Do you trust Reece to slot in with Saka seamlessly? Like I trust Trossard on the left coming in for Martinelli. Do you trust
Yeah.
Nelson to be that quality right now? So what I'm saying is I like Reece, and I expect we'll see a lot more of him this season. And I think that's why he signed new deals, because that's what Arteta has promised him. However, I don't think he's at the quality right now to back up Saka.
We have Marquinhos on the right as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have Marquinhos.
Nah, I think I think he will go out alone for the whole season.
I think
You
he
think
needs
Marquinhos will go out,
another
yeah.
season on loan.
Yeah, I think he'll.
Yeah, I think he
because
needs another season on loan.
yeah, like go out there and play football like properly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's speak on one more guy that we actually none of us has mentioned. Nuno Tavares. I know he's still.
I genuinely forgot he was our team, so that's why I haven't mentioned him. Like,
He's still an Arsenal player.
to me, he's a Marseille. Like, to release him, you can. At this point, I'll chip in to pay him to go.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
So we don't need him no more.
Look, he's not
honestly,
a terrible footballer.
He's not. He just had a horrible time at Arsenal. He's not actually a bad football player.
He's not a defender. That's
He's
his
not
problem.
bad, but bro, look, we raised that quality. We've raised that quality.
No, I think it's not that he's not a defender. I think he's a wing back.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. I think he needs someone backing him up. Yeah, he's not a fullback. He can't play in a back four. Put him in a back five, and I think he bangs.
I heard that.
Yeah. But boys, let me ask you this: what are we thinking? This player probably will be sold because he came last season. What are we thinking about Fabio Vieira?
Okay, I think he's going to stay at the club this season, but I think I would loan him out personally if I'm Mikel.
Yeah.
I'd loan him out because the best thing that can happen to that man is if he plays 30+ games a season and he gets his head on straight, because the quality is there in spurts, right? He has the potential. He shows the technique, but he needs the game time.
He needs game time. He needs game time.
He shows quality, but I just feel like there's so much time between his moments that I'm like, I don't see it anymore.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I think because he covers two positions for us, I think that's why they won't let him go, because he can do the 8, he could do 10, he can pop up on the wing as well if you really need to. He can play on the right, you know.
But I think the other thing for him is just the fact that he's covering Odegaard as well. So that's a big job. He's covering Odegaard. So you can see the drop in quality as soon as Odegaard's not on the pitch. And I think it just
same kind
looks
of
bad
player.
for him. That's the thing as well.
Which is why I want Emil to take over Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, I'd rather have Emil there than Vieira.
Emil's not the same profile player, though. He's not the same profile player. But Emil's profile, okay, think about it. Just because he's an attacking midfielder, Emil's profile is a half-space player. It's more similar in his attacking qualities to Xhaka and therefore Havertz as well. Yeah. Which is why he's going to be used in that left 8 position.
Yeah, even the under 21s, he was on that left 8, bro. He was crazy, man. Like the link up play he was having. Honestly, I want to see him in that position, but
his dribbling, has like he's always been a good dribbler, but his dribbling has like gone like way crazy. So I expect him to be like more involved this season for sure. And I think it's going to be on the left 8 spot as opposed to backing up Odegaard.
He stays fit, and yeah, he's gonna bang this season. I think I'm putting my stocks in him.
Another thing we got to think about is we have a new like medical director or something at the club, right? Like the guy who's been there for forever.
Yeah,
went to United. So we gotta think about. We gotta observe.
O'Driscoll.
Players
I know you, bro.
Yeah,
Gary O'Driscoll. Yeah, man. Listen, I'll make it known to know all their names. I like that. I'm hoping.
Also, you know what's mad? Yeah, when players go from like Arsenal to United, it's like quite a big deal. But I'm pissed at our coaching staff going United as well. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Nah,
it doesn't sit well with me still.
It's all bad. Apparently, it's for like personal. Apparently, it's personal.
I don't care, bro. Go City, go Salford, go. I don't care, man. It just doesn't sit well with me. I'm looking at him like, what the fuck, bro?
Bro, if he can just sort out the injuries, slow them down for United a little bit, a couple months.
Nah, because I'm saying like if he goes there and now all of a sudden Martial's playing 38 games, I'm side-eyeing that whole shit, bro. Like, what the fuck? If he goes there and Martial starts playing 10 games in a row, I'm pissed.
Yeah. And we start getting injuries, fam, and it's messed.
Yeah,
then it's gonna be.
Pissed.
I don't know if it's true or if he's appointed, but I heard we're trying to get some like Premier League guy something.
Yeah, I think the main Premier League. Yeah, I saw that as well, but that was a while ago. That I saw that when after like it was confirmed that Gary's leaving.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. So that means I
haven't seen anything since that. But with back in stuff, you don't really see that in the like. You don't see what's his name.
Yeah, but I like those kind of stuff, man. Tell me who's is the Cooks leaving or the Cooks changing? Like, we need to know. Yeah, bro. Listen,
like Ronaldo said, United have had the same cooking stuff since he was there, bro. The same dinner lady and everything, bro.
So like quickly, and I just want just pick a number and let's keep it moving short. Rice 6 or 8 next season. This season coming 6 or 8. Just give me a number.
8. If Partey stays, 8.
Okay.
8. Okay. Partey is staying. It's 8, man.
I think he's gonna play as a 6 more often, but it's gonna be both.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be both. Yeah.
Okay. So like now let's talk about this. We have our opening game coming up in 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah, if you wanna.
Yeah. Well,
2 weeks to date.
14.
Yeah, 2 weeks to date. I think we play at home. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I never checked the league until it's like a day before. That's me, innit? But how are we feeling? Like, do you think we're ready? And also, we got Community Shield on Sunday.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you think we're ready?
I'm very glad that we get this Community Shield because it gives us a chance to see what City has on the front.
I heard that.
And it gives us a chance to figure out roughly where we're at competitively with them. And I think if we lose, it doesn't mean too much. And also if we win, it doesn't mean too much. Because, everything could be different a few months from now when we play them again in the league. But I do think it's an important, like, let's test the waters kind of thing.
Let's see where everyone's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna say that game would be a good confidence booster. But then I think back to last season where Liverpool beat City in the the Community Shield, and look how the season turned out. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
read too much into that as well.
Well, Liverpool
me-
have their own problems. They'll be back this
Yeah.
season. I think
For
they'll
me,
finish top four.
our preseason really starts with Monaco. So from Monaco and then City, I
Yeah.
think our
that's
preseason is
tomorrow.
really
Yeah. It's gonna be
Because
interesting game tomorrow.
those two games, I think look at who's starting. Like the games in America and Germany, I think that was more of like get players up to speed and all of that.
Yeah.
But I think our
Yeah.
two games looks at okay, who's starting, how we line up. This is how we're gonna play. Like this is it.
I saw that
So
with
for
that
me-
they said that Rice is expected to start.
Yeah,
So they said-
he's gonna
I
make his
would start
Emirates
him tomorrow. First game back at the
Yeah.
Emirates. You test the
Yeah.
waters with him. You see how he
Man,
goes.
I wish I got my ticket. I wish I got my ticket. I made a mistake.
Bro,
not
I
by-
know.
But I had the opportunity. I just didn't pull the trigger, and now I'm gonna I'm gonna be watching it at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss it actually. I'm gonna miss it. I have something to go to. It sucks, but this is more fun.
Nah. So like obviously listen. So like let's talk about how the season let me just ask everyone. How you feel about the league? Are you trying to win it this year? I'm trying to win it this year.
Fix.
I think
Fix.
you
You
try to
it
win it.
this year. Yeah.
If you don't, it's not failure, but you definitely there's no reason not to try for the league.
But I have to
there's no
disagree.
reason.
I think if we don't win it this year, it is failure. I think I can, but that's just me kind of like wanting to. I can't lie. This is me just wanting to hold them the standards that they're giving me right now. So
100%.
maybe it's too early, but I feel like
No,
that's just how I
we have
feel.
to.
Like.
We have
If
to
I'm
challenge.
a
We have to
player or
challenge the same
staff,
way we challenge last year.
Yeah.
if I'm a player or staff and we don't win the league, that's failure. But me as a fan,
Yeah.
like I'll be happy with second again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll be happy
Yeah,
with second
I was-
again
I
as
was-
well.
Okay.
I was-
That's a bad way to say that. I won't be happy.
But-
It's
I'd
just
be
the fact that
content.
we haven't done nearly this good. And so if we can
Yeah.
establish some consistent level of competing, that's
Exactly.
what I want. I don't want to look
Yeah.
at my Arsenal team at the end of the day and go, man, you didn't try and you suck.
Yeah.
I want to look at them and
Yeah.
say, you pushed them all the way, and even if you didn't win, you're going up against the best team in the world, and if you finish second to them, like I can't.
And that's if City
I
finish
think-
first.
I
You
think
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think if we finish second, but if we finish second the same way we did last season, then I'd be pissed. If it's a case where we were leading the league up until the last few games and we let it go,
Nah.
I'd be pissed.
I
If
don't
it's
think
like
my
a
heart can let that
50-50, we're fighting like City's up, we're up, or like whoever we're fighting against, they're up, we're up, like whatever, and then we end up not winning. I'll take that, but that's only as long as we get to somewhere decent in the Champions League as well. I don't want to see us knocked out the group stages or round of 16 in the Champions League and then finish second and be like, that's all right. If we get to like
Yeah.
quarters, semis,
I'll be happy
in the
with
Champions League.
quarterfinal.
yeah, as I was saying, if we get to like quarters, semis, and
Nah,
then
man.
finish second,
Get to the
then I'll
final,
take that.
man.
Okay, here's a question to y'all. Here's
Get to
another
the final.
question. If we
Get to the final,
okay,
man.
this is a big if. This is a big hypothetical. If
Yeah.
we win the Champions League, hypothetically, if we win the Champions League, would you accept third place in the league?
Shit,
Yes.
if we win the Champions League, I'm accepting 8th. Are you mad? Relegate
Yes.
us that season,
Nah,
bro.
nah,
Are you
nah, nah,
mad?
nah,
Bro,
nah,
bro,
nah,
if you Champions
I'm
League,
taking it, bro. Do you think I care?
I don't
I
mind.
mean, I
Nah,
don't
bro,
care. I just
the
wanted to see what
third,
y'all thought.
nah, the third I can get eighth. Nah.
Nah, bro.
Nah, no,
when
it's-
Chelsea won the Champions League, they were in 8th.
Yeah,
Or like
but,
something like that,
but
bro.
now look, but they've sold
Hey,
that whole
bro.
team. 4 years later, they've sold that whole team.
Shit, Demetrio got fired the next season, yeah? But he still won the Champions. And Chelsea fans have been holding that over our heads for years, bro.
I hate that.
And like,
No, I'm
you
telling
never
you.
think back to that season and be like, oh, Chelsea were bad in the league. You think back to that season where like Chelsea won the Champions League.
Yeah.
And I swear they won the
Shocking.
league like the season after that or not. Did they win the league the season after? Or like
Yeah, I think it was like a couple seasons, maybe 2 seasons
Yeah,
after they won it.
2 seasons after that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was 2 seasons.
So
So
I'll
like,
take a Champions League and 8th place finish. I'm not gonna lie. If it's Champions League final and 3rd place, like the Champions League final needs 3rd place. But just winning the shit, Yeah.
But
I would
having
I
that.
would take I would take runner up in the Champions League and third place. I'd be fine
no,
with
no,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I can't do
Yeah,
with heartache.
I'll
Heartache
take.
in the
I'll
final.
take.
No.
Okay,
no,
that's
no.
the realist
No,
in
no, no,
me.
no.
It's like setting myself up for
Bro,
disappointment.
I can't do
Though,
with heartache. I hate, bro. The one thing
Nah.
about me, finals, either,
I hate losing finals to it.
either,
Bro.
either make sure this game is as close as I can imagine, or please just lose on pens. I can handle penalties. It's 50-50.
Nah, you see
Penalties is
me, I'm the
50-50.
opposite, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. If we're gonna lose, yeah, make sure we lose by the first half. So I can turn off my TV and go do something else. I want you to keep me there for 90 minutes and then you lose, bro. I'll be
when we
pissed.
lost,
Imagine like
when we lost to
120
Chelsea,
minutes, bro. Yeah,
when we
exactly.
lost
When
to
we lost to
Chelsea,
Chelsea, I was
just
done
like,
by halftime.
I didn't wear an Arsenal jersey until the next August. Like I literally that whole
Oh,
summer,
wow.
I was like, no.
I said,
I was so upset.
I didn't watch half of Arsenal's games that season.
Yeah.
That's how much
I was
Physically-
done. Like that game, I was done by halftime. I moved on with my life. It gave me enough time to, get over the loss before the game was actually over. Like,
Can you believe
imagine
we
watching
still had, at
120
one point-
minutes of football and 0-0, and then they score. I'd cry like real nigga tears. I'm telling you. I would break
that
down.
was terrible, bro. That was terrible. But look, I think this season we have to beat City once. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
If we don't
Yeah.
beat City, we're not going to win the league. That is it. That's for me is final. And
That's
I
right.
mean, we're sitting down. It's tough, man, because literally it's just City that's in our way, man. It's just City, and if you look at the reinforcements we're bringing in, is to challenge City, their team, the depth they have, the quality they have. That's what we're trying to bring to our team as well, right? And
Do you think City have a weaker team this season though than last season?
No.
Automatically, yes.
No.
I don't think so.
I
They've
think
lost
I
a
don't think
couple
the
big
point
players.
tally will reflect that, but you lose Gundogan and Mahrez. Like, yes, they brought in
Walker as well.
Yeah, like I think it's a weaker team.
If not-
I'm not saying
if-
they're gonna do worse, but I'm saying it's a weaker team.
Let me say this. There's room
In hindsight, yeah.
in there because for me, let's just quickly. If you think about them, their defense and our defense, remember these lot have players like Laporte, Cancelo, even Walker, and our point that weren't even starting.
Laporte, the Cancelo's still there, isn't it?
You see what I'm saying?
Man.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but then if you put it, but
I
then,
need the beef with Pep to continue. I need him and Pep to be at each other. Bro.
So you see what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, they've lost a couple of players. Like Gundogan, yeah, I feel like Gundogan's going to be the bigger miss than anyone else. But then also, I think on the flip side, how can he be a miss when they've been playing John Stones in centre mid? That's
what I'm saying.
He will plug that gap. Like, bro, all that needs to happen is Bernardo Silva can slot there, and then Phil Foden goes out wide, or someone like what's that guy? Alvarez can go out wide or something. Like he will do, or he will tuck De Bruyne there and bring in Alvarez. Bro, he will do something. He will
have depth.
That's what I'm saying, though.
And versatility as well.
Pep's going to do something, but the quality of the squad, if they don't sign anybody, is weaker. I'm not saying they're going to do worse or they're going to do bad. But I'm saying the talent level in the squad automatically is it's dropped a little bit, which will force him to be inventive, which could be, good or bad.
But that's what I said before. I don't know if this was when I started recording or not. I said City are cooking something. We just don't know what. But they are.
No, that's true.
Something, bro. Because they're selling. That's the thing. They're selling. All they're doing is just selling here. Everyone's like, City, why are they so quiet? City, no squad. Bro, City could go now. Not saying they will. Could you imagine in the front line, they just say, bang, you know what? Kvaratskhelia, you're coming to us. Now we're all thinking, see.
Actually, I think I know what they're doing.
You see what I'm saying? We never know. Or listen,
they're being smart.
Let me throw another name. Could you imagine if or you just see Kimmich just goes to Man City?
My God.
Barella can go to City. That's the thing about City. City know they can attract anybody except like a couple free players who kind of have the
100%.
destinations already set. Apart from that, and it's fair game.
You know what City are doing right now? They're playing smart because of financial fair play. That's why they're selling. And they're gonna wait until towards August when they've got their finances set and then go for those 1-2 players that they need. I think that's what they're doing right now because they still have these charges against them. You know, financial fair play is not joking anymore. And now that's what you have to do. You have to offload players before you buy. For us, we're smart with our finances. That's why we can buy as much as we want and not even sell.
We have to
And we
start
know they're
selling
getting
next season.
we know they're getting
Yeah.
Vardiol from Leipzig too. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of
Yeah.
So you see, that's what I say about Man City. I don't look at them because Pep is the kind of crazy that interests me in it. So
Yeah.
when
He'll do some shit.
he knows what he's doing.
Pep
and-
makes me not want to turn on my TV before the game.
yeah.
No other team, no
honestly-
other manager can do that. Pep makes me
Honestly, Pep made me feel bad for Liverpool fans. 'Cause, like you watch Man City, like last season especially. Like I watched a lot more Man City games because of the title chase. But watching these men, it's like they just don't lose. Like you celebrate when they draw because you know they're not gonna lose. Like you celebrate them dropping 2 points because they're just not gonna lose.
They moved that ball
That's
with a
true,
purpose. But
Bro,
exactly.
listen,
Exactly.
this is like, listen, I'm gonna divert it back to Arsenal because I like it. If we're talking about Pep, and I'm gonna say Pep and pressures, that's what I wrote. Pep and pressures, because it is pressure. And what I mean by that, I mean 2-part question: is there pressure to succeed, or is there pressure that we must, like, as in, is there pressure more on the manager to succeed, or he has to succeed?
but for Arsenal,
It's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Like, if you can understand, like, is it pressure to
I don't.
succeed,
Yeah, okay.
or is it?
I get what you
or that
mean.
he
I
has
don't
to
think.
succeed?
I don't think there's pressure to succeed. I think Arteta for himself will have to succeed. I don't think if he
he has
finishes second or third, the club put pressure on him. Is what I mean. But there's no pressure on him to succeed. But I think Arteta himself wants to win everything. So for him, he
wants to
has
win
to
everything.
succeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for the fans, we put pressure on him to succeed, on us to succeed. But for him personally, he wants to, like, look, it's for him, it's do or die. We either win.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's telling his players, like, we have to win. I want to win the Premier League next season. I want to
This is
beat
what I
Pep
want from my
Guardiola.
manager.
I want
I
to beat
saw-
Man City.
I saw today that after the preseason game with United when we lost, he made the team do a full training session. They were on the bench for an extra hour and a half.
I didn't know if
Like
that was
when
true.
United players had like changed and gone, did their media, like the team were training for another extra hour and a half. Like, I love to see that shit. I absolutely love to see that shit because, like,
this is why we came to Barcelona with pressure, fam. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Also, Xavi's saying that like we're dumb for like playing it like it's a Champions League game, when
shows
literally
the levels.
Araujo was trying to
Araujo
end
wanted
Alberto
to-
Jesus' career. Like,
he was there for
Mm.
war, bro. He was there for war, fam.
Shout out.
Xavi just didn't know what going, fam. He just didn't know what's happening, man.
Xavi was just
gonna
fan
be
of
where-
his,
I think-
so can't
I think
really-
he won the United game and was like, it's gonna be an easy game. He won the
Yeah.
United game and was like,
Yeah.
it's calm, don't worry. And then you just shocked him. I think that's all it
We're
was.
out for smoke, son. Arteta is
I
out
think
for
that's what it
smoke,
was.
man. I
But
saw it.
I absolutely love that shit. I don't care. I love it when our team's physical. I love it when Arsenal go out there and play. Like, it doesn't matter what game it is. Just go out there and bully the team. Like, I feel like that's something we actually don't do enough. Even last season, when we were at the top of our game,
Yeah,
we never really bullied teams.
exactly.
I feel like maybe like Nottingham Forest when we beat them 5-0, I was like, yes, like we actually went out there and like beat the team. Sometimes we just make it too difficult for ourselves by being a little bit lackluster. I think that's what lost us the league in the end.
You know what's amazing? That what you're saying right now. Even last season, the games that we drew, crucial games we drew and lost, is because of our physicality. We were not physical. You know, we let these teams bully our players, man, bully us, them Southampton, fam. You know what I mean? This is what I think that, like, if you see the caliber of players we're bringing in, but we're bringing in no-nonsense players, fam. You think Timber is going to sit down and let these man be physical, fam? You see the way that guy goes for the ball. He's ready to
Well, the thing, we're also bringing in big players in the middle of the park as well with Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. These are big players, like physical
Declan
players.
Rice, fam. He's one of the biggest ball-winning midfielders in the Prem, fam. He was ridiculous for West Ham. West Ham last season did great because they were a physical team. And Declan Rice, bro, he's going to bring that with us. And I think Partey too. Declan Rice and Partey, oh my God. Bro, this is what we
I think that's going to be a good partnership.
I will say,
I think it's going to be a good
the other day against Barcelona, Thomas Partey won me back because I wanted him out. Because people blame Saliba. People blame Saliba injured, like his injury. As for our collapse, I blame Thomas Partey.
Blame Thomas Partey's injury too.
Yeah. But I saw him against Barcelona the other day, and he made me believe in him because his ball playing skills. And the first time, like whenever our team is so far up that Thomas Partey is like on the edge of the box, like when he recovers balls and he recycles it, it's like always a sublime pass. Always somebody is open who has time to sit on the ball. It's absurd how good his passing is.
He's so good. He's so good. He's so good.
I where I doubt him is whenever he's put in pressure in our half. That's when I. But in the opponent's half, like you know, winning a ball back, you know, before the opponent has a chance to counter, you know, like I put my house on it, you know. So he made me believe in him again. I'm excited to see him and Rice this season.
But I don't even think he's bad under pressure in our half. I think what it is sometimes he gets a bit like a bit lackluster. Like I'm thinking to that West Ham game where he like tried to flick it past Declan Rice. I don't think that's because Declan Rice put him under pressure. I think he was just like he tried to be cheeky. He was a bit too cocky, a bit too confident, and then that's when he loses out. But I think there's so many times like he's one of our most press resistant players. When we're playing it at the back and he's being pressed, and it's just like he makes one, 2 touches and he's free. 1, 2 touches, he's turned 100%. Into space, and that's it. He's gone. So I don't even think the pressure. I don't think it's when he's under pressure.
That's fair.
Yeah, and the thing is with him, if he misses one, like makes one mistake, it costs the team. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When they're pressing him and he gets the ball in our half and he loses the ball, that counter brings on like instability in our defense as well. So I think it is the only part of his game where it's like that one mistake, which just happens maybe once in a while, but it does cost us. You know what I mean? But I think Thomas Partey's line should start.
He needs to make sure. He needs to make sure that happens when we're 3-0, 4-0 up. Then that's fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. Then we can let it slide, but not a 0-0 or 1-0. No. Come on.
Or even when we're up like 3-1, you know, like that doesn't need to happen.
Yeah. I think a big thing that will like determine how well we play this season as well is how our fans react to us fucking up.
Yeah.
I think that's a big, because I remember when last season, I'm thinking back to, I think the game against Leicester when Saliba scored the own goal and people were still like cheering his name and stuff like that. I feel like, because with our fans is when we have this pressure to succeed, or we feel like we have this pressure to succeed, we tend to turn on the team quite easily. Like, it happens quite a bit. We tend to turn on our own players. Like, I've seen it already with this season, like with the transfer window, like we had linked to Raha, and then suddenly people are saying Ramsdale's not good enough. I'm like, nah, Ramsdale's been good enough. He's one of the best keepers in the league last season. Raha coming in is just it's competition. So that's the thing. Arsenal fans tend to like turn on our players easily. So we need that. That's one thing that's going to depend on how well we do.
Yeah, the thing is, we're emotional fans. That's the problem with us. We're emotional.
Very, very emotional. Very, very emotional.
It's not easy. And then we have rival fans on our ass as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we always take it on our players.
I think that's it. We have way too many rivals. That's the thing. Like, we would have been okay with 1 or 2, but literally every team in the league hates us. I don't get it. Like, West Ham fans are piping up now. Like, as if we've been rivals. Like, what the hell?
That's how I'm fine. They're just salty, fam. They're salty. We took their star, man. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
BK, I got a
We took
question.
their star.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Every time we've talked about Arsenal,
Mm.
you have said you want Hansi Flick at the club.
Yeah.
If there was a moment right now where you could say, all right, Mikel, goodbye, I'm taking Hansi Flick, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't do it
Okay,
now.
that's the correct answer. That is the
No,
correct
I
answer.
wouldn't do it now. Because
Mikel is
he's like I
the-
said, he's at that moment in time, I didn't yeah, he isn't his canvas still isn't fully painted. I'll be honest. But so far the pitch is coming out nicely.
Mikel is cooking.
Like
He's cooking.
I'm
And I feel like if the football gods love a story, Arteta has to win us the league. If the
has to win
football
us the
gods
league.
like a good story,
Yeah,
he has to win
yeah,
us the
man.
league, bro. Like he
But look,
has
we
to. It
deserve it,
has to
bro.
be him. It has to be him. It has
It's
to
the
be this set
apprentice
of
beats the
players.
master.
Yeah, it has to be this set of
Honestly, yeah,
players.
everything is primed for our story. Like if the football gods love a good story, yeah, this is it. Like just write it for us.
It's written.
Just
Yeah,
write
man,
it
it's
for us.
written, bro. Yeah,
I like
and
that.
he could, and
like
him winning the Premier League could set him up to be one of the best, like young Premier
Yeah,
League
definitely.
managers.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I heard that.
That's the thing. Because
Yeah,
like for me, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like I'm in love with the club now more than I've ever been like throughout my
too.
whole like Arsenal fandom. Like this is
No,
like these
100%.
are the players that I love more than any other any other team.
100%.
No, not for me. I think I can't lie. For me, I think there's listen, allow me in it, but I think there's still a little disconnect. Like I'm still not fully there yet. But that's just me like kind of waiting because it's like I'm sorry. I always believe in finish all the play on your food, innit? So I understand we
I
have
get
to.
it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like last
I
season
get
for
you, I
me,
get
it
you,
was
I get
great,
you.
but for me to actually get that connection, like I started that connection when we won the FA Cup because I saw us beat good teams, get there, lift the trophy, get to the end. You know, and I always say this: I hung my hat on Saka from when I first saw him, and I don't feel like I made a bad decision. The rest of them, the Martinellis, it's all about me being on your side. And then once I'm on your side, everyone then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, man. But there's still a certain couple players that, they have to do a lot. And one of them was the goalkeeper. Like Ramsdale for me, I liked him. I didn't mind him. But if you had said to me, can we get Mike Maignan? I would have taken him. If you asked me, could we get Onana? I would have taken him. So us getting David Raya, it's that then for me makes me trust the manager now more because that he's maybe even having a little think of what I was thinking. Because obviously, I'm still happy with Aaron. I would like season starts, he'll play if we never were linked with Raya. But the fact that we are linked with him, it's making me think like, okay, he's at least thinking. Even the right back situation. I don't know if you lot watch us or watch me. I've always talked about the right back as I wasn't comfortable with just Ben White and Tomiyasu. He's went out and got
I wasn't
Timber.
comfortable with Tommy Yasu as well, like that.
Do you hear me? Even Sergio Suarez, bro, like that's who we had as our right backs. So I was like, I don't trust this as the right back situation. Bang. He's went and sorted that out. So, you know what? That's why to Joseph's question, yeah, man. Right now, I'm happy with Mikel. Wouldn't change him. And let's hope he wins something, man. Yeah, I mean, that's what I gotta say.
I have to say, I am. Look, I love Ramsdale. I am kind of happy that it shows the mindset from Arteta that this position isn't perfect, and that's why we're going after Raya. And we were all like, whenever we signed Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield United, we were all like, man, what the heck?
That was the first time
why
I heard of him.
Why are we spending? Oh, I heard of him because he got relegated with Bournemouth and Sheffield United. But I was like, why are we spending 30? Why are we spending 32 million on this man?
I remember
and then
those
3 games
seasons.
later, he's our starter.
I remember those seasons with those different clubs, seeing them get relegated. I didn't even know he was in goal. Can't lie to you. I didn't. That was when we signed him. That's when I done my Google search. I was like,
nah, I knew he was in goal with Sheffield because it was was it not the COVID season, right? When one of their first games back with Villa, where I think Villa scored, but then goal line technology wasn't working for some reason, and they just like the ball crossed the line like fully, and they just didn't give Villa the goal.
Yeah, because that was the season Villa almost got relegated and didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I don't.
Because that was the first season with VAR, and they were gonna Jack Grealish scored at the death of the game against some team, but it was right after.
I think it was Leicester. He done that
whistle.
against. I think it was Leicester. I think it was either Leicester or Everton because the team wore blue.
Yeah, and he scored right after the ref blew his whistle.
Yeah, the team wore blue. I remember that game. When I saw that game, when I saw that game, I said, Arsenal should go get Grealish, bro. I was like, this guy could cook.
Yeah, I wanted Grealish as well.
Because it was that season when Thing was injured, Martinelli for the year, innit? That was when Martinelli wasn't there. So I was just like,
but you see, things like that happen. You see, when we go and buy these players that we don't know and then they come and perform, it just makes me believe in Mikel Arteta's vision more.
No,
it's something
honestly,
that
you see, ever since that season with Ben White, with Ramsdale, all of them coming in, Tomiyasu, from then I stopped questioning Mikel's talent ID. Like, he could sign anyone, and I'd be like, he's world class. Well, he will be world class.
To be fair, whenever we brought Mikel in, he was the first team coach.
No, he's missed. There's Nuno and there's Sambi. Yeah, he's missed.
Yeah,
but still,
we brought Mikel in.
William
brought Mikel in, and he was the first. And now he's the manager.
Yeah, now he's head. Now he's the manager. He was just the first team coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wasn't in charge of signings and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's true. It was. You're right.
Nuno's a miss. Sambi's a miss. You can't count players like Pablo Mari and Cedric because
that was he's right because that was before. That was when he was head coach.
Yeah, that was
when he just came in. Yeah,
that was when he just came in.
I think the best thing to happen to Arsenal Football Club since Mikel has arrived is, yes, we won the FA Cup. That's great, but I think the best thing to happen is him saying, "All right, Aubameyang, you're done. You're getting rid of you."
Yeah,
I think it's the best thing to happen.
Quickly listen. Just two more topics. I hated
it at the time.
2 more topics. This is one of them. The last thing will be nice, friendly, and then we wrapping it. I have been seeing recently a lot of Arsenal fans on my social media, especially on Twitter. I'm gonna say Twitter is the main place, but I've seen a couple on comments here on YouTube and Instagram comments here and there, and every Arsenal fan now, I'm gonna say this myself. When we were seeing the videos of Alba and Laka, we enjoyed the fun vibes that they gave us. But now they've been using that as a highlight of the issue. How you feel about that?
Now, you know what? You know what the thing is, it's with hindsight, If you look at where the club is now and where the club was then, back then, we were living off vibes. We were finishing 2 seasons in a row. We had 3 managers in one season. And we won the FA Cup that season as well. So we were really living off vibes. But when you look back to it now, and you're thinking, wow, Arsenal were first for 90% of the season, right? And you never had videos of players fucking about that much. These men were 8 and they were fucking about. These men were missing out on Europe and they were fucking about. So you just look at the difference in just the class of our players and how our players react to certain things. And you're just what the actual fuck was going on at the club. I think that's why I look at it. Because like Oba and Laka, they gave us moments. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
At some point, they were the only good thing about being an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
At some point, there was nothing else to being an Arsenal fan apart from Oba and Laka. Like Aubameyang especially extended Emery's Arsenal career by I want to say like 3 to 4 months just on his own.
bro.
Because we played shit football.
He saved Mikel's Arsenal career
At some point as well, yeah.
At
Because
some
we
point.
played shit football and Aubameyang came out with a goal out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And like we won the game yeah.
I'm talking about
Exactly.
after
You
the
won
FA
the
Cup.
FA Cup.
Remember, I'm talking about the season
Yeah, I mean,
after the FA Cup. The season after the FA Cup.
Yeah, the season after the FA Cup even. Yeah, he banged the I think it's from when he signed that contract.
Mhm.
I don't know what the
That
fuck
year,
was in
that
that
year.
pen.
That year, yeah.
And yeah.
But
It's the same
he
pen
came
they
to
gave
the money,
Gambia.
bro. The enjoyment.
Nah,
It's the same-
You know what I'm saying?
but honestly,
It's the same pen they gave
Nuru,
Ozil.
honestly, he came to Gambia, fucked about here, and the niggas were like, nah, we're not having it. And he went back and just had the worst season
Yeah.
he could ever have.
Yeah, I can't believe they done that to our boy. But
Nah, my Gambian brothers fucked him up.
but nah, I
My
just wanted
Gambian
to,
brothers fucked him up.
Joseph, have you seen that and how you feel about that? What I just said about hindsight. It's not me, sorry, what Abla said about hindsight, the previous people.
Yeah. So hindsight, I mean, you could point to any number of the members of the squad and be like, man, they were the problem. They're the problem. And I think there's not a single person.
That was sorry.
I don't think there's a single player
wild.
you could point to and say, nah, they get a free pass. I think everybody has to, have some form of, they weren't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I think the only players you could say that against is the Helen boys, the academy boys. I think they were the only one that came out of that like period flawless.
Yeah.
Like absolutely flawless.
Yeah.
Maitland-Niles, you think came out of that period flawless?
Yeah, he's not at the club anymore, bro. I'm talking about the Helen boys that are still here.
Okay.
Him, that Snapchat post, like I just want to play football. Like fuck off.
That
pissed me off.
So anyway, back to this.
Honestly, like can I before we move on, can I ask you a question? If Maitland-Niles decided to like keep playing right back, do you think he's still at the club?
Fuck no.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think we get
maybe
Ben
not
White
starting, but I think he's at the club.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't think we get Ben White if Maitland-Niles played right back. Because the reason we got Ben White was because we had Cedric.
Nah, yeah, I think we get Ben White still.
We still get Ben White, but Maitland-Niles is still at the club, but he's not playing as much. Like we don't get Tomiyasu if we have that's where that is.
Yeah, but to be fair, Ben White came in as a centre back. Yeah, we probably won't get Tomiyasu. Ben White did come in as a centre back.
Yeah.
Because he had his moments at right back as well.
Yeah, and dude is the coldest penalty taker I've ever seen.
Bro, his penalties are next level, man. Ice.
You know what's so crazy?
Absolutely.
I'm playing Football Manager 2020 right now, yeah. And I'm like in my first season with Arsenal, yeah, because I haven't played in a while, but I started playing a few days ago. I went back. And I have Maitland-Niles playing in my CDM, and he is scoring bangers for me, bro. And it's just so funny you just said that because I love him right now. So I'm biased.
I like him. I like him a lot. Didn't work out.
I have a soft spot for academy players, so
I have a soft spot.
I'd hope, I'd hope that he'd done better.
Quickly, lastly, I just want to say, tomorrow they're gonna unveil the Arsene Wenger statue. I will find time to go see it for sure.
Yeah,
I do want to go see that statue. But have you lot seen it? Is it fully deserved? I fully deserved, my opinion.
Absolutely.
I wish the statue was even bigger, but.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like he needed a grander statue. That stadium is his. Like I feel like a lot of people forget that he built that stadium. He was there from the start to the finish of that stadium. Yeah, like,
but,
I'm genuinely,
but
I'm surprised.
he made some money, man. Listen, I'm
No. He made the
listen,
money.
yeah,
Yeah,
he made
but
the money. He
Arsene
made the
Wenger,
money.
Arsene Wenger changed he
Nah,
changed the culture of English football. Like not just Arsenal,
Yeah.
but just the whole culture of English football.
yeah.
I think a lot of people forget that. I think maybe he stayed on a little bit too long. If he had left a good 5 years earlier than he did, he'd be remembered like a lot differently.
I hear you.
But absolute legend in football in general,
No,
not just
legend,
Arsenal,
man.
but absolute legend in football.
And you're right. I think I'm probably gonna go see the statue sometime this week. I'm always in central London.
I'll look at
My
it on
job,
my
my work.
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might
Office is
send
actually
pictures
in
of it.
Islington as
Yeah,
well, which is a beautiful thing. So like the Emirates Stadium is literally like 10 minutes away from my office. So I always go. I'm always there, and it's so the Hilton next to my office is the Hilton. So the players go stay a day before in the Hilton before they go to the Emirates Stadium when they have home games. So I always see them in the morning of like the Saturday games because I work on Saturdays as well. So it's an amazing thing to see the players before. You have the fans coming out of the hotel, right? And I think this is so beautiful. And just having now Thierry Henry there, the statue of Thierry Henry, and now having Arsene Wenger there just tops it off. And especially with the new build of outside the stadium, the whole art graffiti thing, the whole culture, you can just tell Arsenal is just not just a football club. It's like a freaking family. It's part of London, North London culture. You know what I mean? Even though we stole it from Tottenham,
Yeah.
but deservedly so. It's still one of the
But
best things.
that's the
Man.
thing.
Like
If you go to the Tottenham Stadium, because when I was in London, I used to work at the Tottenham Stadium. It just feels like doesn't feel like the Emirates just has a different vibe to it. I feel like the Emirates is more of a cultural thing than the Tottenham Stadium. Like the Tottenham Stadium is a lot more modern, yeah, but that's all it is to it. Like there's no like
there's no culture or
images,
tradition.
there's no statues, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just the
They don't have
stadium. It's like it feels like an NFL stadium almost.
It is
Like
an NFL stadium, but
yeah, like it's just the stadium. There's nothing else to it. There's absolutely nothing else to it.
And the thing is, let's think about it like this, yeah. And, sorry to say this, but Tottenham is actually a shit area anyway. You know what I mean? It's a shit place in North London. You know what I mean? But like Islington is actually a beautiful like family. Like you can tell the people who lived in Islington have lived there. Allegedly. But it's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place.
I get
North London, like is. But I've been Tottenham Hale fan, and my God.
How do y'all feel about the away kit?
I didn't like it at first, but it looks good on the players. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm still not 100% sold.
I'm gonna say this. Screw me. I mean, sue me. Sorry. Only the players, children, and women should wear that third kit. I don't want to see no brother in that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
No, not the third kit. The second kit.
I like the third kit. The away kit.
Yeah, the away kit.
I wouldn't buy it myself because I wouldn't wear it.
I want to see.
I wouldn't wear it. I just hate the fact that we went from the black kit to that.
I swear, man.
I just want to see children, women, and the players wear it. No guys.
To
be wearing
third kit though. Third kit looking.
The third kit looks
nice.
good. I think that's the one I'm gonna get.
Do you know what's my? I prefer the home kit this season. I think I prefer
the home kit. The home
kit's nice. Home kit's nice. But what I do in my kits is every year I'll get one of the three. And last year I got the home kit, so I think this year I'm gonna get the third kit.
Yeah. Last year I got the home and the away, and it's the first season I've ever bought two of the kits in the same season. So
oh wow.
Yeah. I think what I should have done.
Black kit was nice.
What I should have done is I should have just got the black kit from last season and then bought this year's home kit. Now I'm probably gonna have to wait to Christmas. Just because money's tight.
The only kits from last season you should have got was the third and the away one. I think the pink one is the pink one is lovely.
This one grew on me. We didn't wear that enough.
I like the home kit. I like the home kit as well. Last year's home kit, I love it. I think
I
last
love
year we
You
that.
went
like
three
it
for
at
three.
first, but the more
Last year we went
we
3
wore
for
it,
3 on home kit.
Do you know what I did? I wasn't a fan of the color. I don't like
I
colors too much. So
I
that's
get
probably
what
why.
you mean.
That's
But the
no,
probably
third
okay,
why.
kit this
that's
year
what
has a
threw me
color as
off at
well.
first. And then I
No,
saw a
but it's a
picture.
different color to that one though. Like
Yeah,
that
I
color
get
is
you.
it's not like a folding color. It's the one that's already like just stitched. It's just stitched out. That's a
Yeah.
decent color. I like that. But the one that folds, yeah, for me,
In my opinion, last season we went 3 for 3 on our kits.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Yeah,
I
I can
did that.
agree.
Yeah,
This
I did
year
ask him
it's
to.
2 for 3. It's
2 for 3.
This year's 2 for.
I
I
can't
did like
like
the
for
kit
me
launch
it's one
though.
for three, bro.
I
The
did
third
like the
kit
kit
the
launch.
third kit is cool, but it's not a head turner. Like
okay. No, that's what I'm saying. It's
it's
barely a
cool.
2 for 3.
Yeah, like it's if you're asking
Yeah, you know
me,
what? I'm gonna have my judgment to seeing it in person. I need to see
yeah.
someone wear it.
No, I have
Honestly, I
seen
need to.
someone. I've seen some. I saw a kid wearing the third kit like a couple days ago. It looks okay. Like there was nothing on the kit that made me surprised. But yeah, so that's what I was saying.
Nah, you
Wait,
know
I
what else I
think
want to get? I want to get the pink. You remember the Chinese New Year jacket that they did?
oh yeah,
Hey, bro, good luck.
The
yeah,
pink
Good luck.
that was cold, bro.
yeah,
But it's
but
just like you
it's
can't get it.
yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
You
Even the
can't get it, bro.
Jamaican colored one, bro. I still want that.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
the carnival one as well, bro. Bro, if you see
It was
carnival, yeah, that's the reason you can't get that. They released that just
yeah,
before carnival, and now you can't get
yeah.
that
It
shit
was
anywhere, bro.
Bro,
Everyone at Carney was wearing it,
All
bro.
the Jamaican gooners just all bought that
Everyone
shit
at
in
Carney
bulk.
was
They
wearing
bought
it,
that
bro.
in bulk.
Like
yeah,
they bought like 5, 6, like wearing it every single day, bro. It was
Yeah,
mad.
yeah,
I
yeah.
But
rate
yeah, if
that.
I could get my
I
hands on that jacket, nah, because that
Um,
jacket is cool. Whenever
I
I see,
want
I
to
just think
ask.
to that Odegaard. There's a clip of Odegaard coming out of the changing rooms wearing it, and it's just cold, bro.
yeah, no way.
Yeah,
What you
I
gonna
wanted
ask?
to ask. I wanted to ask a question. Like it's a little bit off topic, but what do you guys think about the Arsenal women's team, like, and women's football in general?
think
Like,
I think they're one of the best women's football teams in the world.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
100%.
I only really say I watched this last season, and that was barely. So, but from what I saw, decent, decent.
Decent,
I,
yeah.
I don't.
I'm
I haven't really watched them, but I listened to this podcast. I listened to this Arsenal podcast on Spotify,
That's it.
and they do it in
yeah,
sections. So they start with the men's team, and they move on to the women's team, and
yeah,
sometimes they talk about the under 21s and the under 18s. And from what I hear, amazing team.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
think
watched a
Arsenal
couple
as
of
well are
games.
quite. Yeah, they're quite far ahead in other women's team. Like they sell out the Emirates when they play, and they
Yeah,
play the Emirates quite a
I'm,
bit, like compared to like the other women's team and their home stadium.
yeah. They're trying to now get their games in the Emirates Stadium, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be tough though because of
Rightfully
obviously
so.
timing. But I'm
I
actually
think
gonna
yeah,
start trying to
I,
watch women's teams, women's games, man, in that stadium, bro, because
yeah.
it's cheap. The tickets are cheaper, and
The tickets
we
are a lot
actually play
cheaper.
some.
Yeah,
We actually play some really good football, man. Like
yeah.
it was shocking, man. I remember I watched one game and I was like, whoa, like. But then we have two of our best players, like the women's player, they have ACL injuries right now, which
Yeah,
is
they have
Yeah.
ACL
crazy.
injuries. It's mad. Beth Mead
ACL
and
injuries,
what's her
just
name?
in the women's sport as a whole, is just insane.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think what I was reading
yeah,
on, I was reading on that, and I saw that
yeah,
the cleats that they wear aren't designed for women.
yeah,
So I think that's why they
yeah,
have a higher incident of ACL injuries. It's a bit much. But even this World
yeah.
Cup, apparently, like so many teams had like top players missing
England,
out because of ACL.
England
England had
had a
like two or
few.
three. Yeah.
Yeah,
But even
it's
like US
crazy,
had
man.
a few, France had a few, like
Yeah,
all the teams
US.
had a few players that like missed out because of ACL injuries.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, man, women's football is coming up, man. So I'm gonna definitely go
It
watch a
is.
few games in the stadium. Fuck it.
Nah, I hate you, bro.
You
I
know?
listen, boys. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you very much for coming on, Emmy, and everyone
So,
at the end. Like, share, subscribe. We're out here. You know what I mean? This is the Arsenal facts. Just everything Arsenal,
mm,
nothing else. We don't care about we did talk about your teams here and there, but we was being nice, really and truly. I couldn't.
Just for reference.
Yeah. We just nice.
Before we go, last question: who you putting your stocks in Arsenal this season?
Martinelli.
Yeah. What's that top goal scorer?
No, you putting your stocks in.
Stocks.
Any player?
Like,
who you putting your stocks in?
Yeah, like
who you back in this season?
Who you back in this season?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm backing Bukayo Saka again, and both of them.
I heard that. Nah, you can only pick one, bro.
That's easy. That's easy money.
You can only pick one.
That's easy money, bro. Bukayo Saka's easy money. That's a safe investment.
Listen,
I'm putting Bukayo Saka.
No, go invest in something else. Hires. I don't know too much about stocks, but I was about to start blagging. But listen, Saka's an easy one, bro. Saka's an easy one.
Saka's a safe investment, bro. That's easy returns, bro. That's a low risk investment. That's a low risk investment, bro.
I'm going Tierney or Havertz.
I see that. I think Tierney's going to get a lot more game time, just because of Timber.
Yeah.
So I think when Timber and Virgil are going to need Tierney there to show up the defense. So I can see that. I can see him having a good season.
He just gives us that burst of freaking like energy and just like die there.
Yeah,
he's a die there
player. Direct football as well. I love the directness.
Yeah.
Me, I'm putting my stocks in Smith Rowe.
Okay.
I need that.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I think I'm gonna put a Smith Rowe as well. Yeah.
I was gonna throw Trossard in there in terms of he's.
You know what? We're talking about it. We're talking about that Havertz 8, yeah. Honestly, Trossard on that 8, bro, and Martinelli on that wing is not a bad idea too, because you saw the preseason Trossard in that 8.
Yeah, I think was it against Barca?
Bro.
Trossard's gonna get 10 goals in the league this season, easy.
Yeah, easy.
I think easy. What did he get last season? He got like 8 last season.
Yeah,
he got 8. I don't think he had how many assists? He had like 13.
I think for Arsenal, he had maybe 9 assists, but then he had a few for Brighton.
Yeah, for Brighton.
I remember a lot of our players weren't far off doubles in terms of goals and assists. I think Saka got a double.
Yeah, man. We had.
I think Martinelli might have as well.
4 players.
I think Trossard and Jesus were close.
Yeah, and imagine Jesus freaking got injured, so it's mad.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jesus was 1 assist away, if I'm not lying.
You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, bros. Listen, we would love to continue this. Listen, we'll catch you lot hopefully in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Season will start.
Yes.
Opinions, change, differ. Who knows, man? I might come in next week cussing. Yeah. And
that's Arsenal for you, man.
Yeah, that's
at some point, we're all gonna be pissed. Let's just get ready for that.
Yeah.
At some point,
we're all gonna change a lot of the things you said. That's true.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Lovely, boys. Lovely.
Right,
Thank you.